Hello, Internet. Welcome to the Empirical Sword, where science plus gaming equals awesome. I'm Lawmaster DLC79, and this is Pyre. We just barely beat the Tempers at the Angry Lava Unicorn, and we are once again summoned to Mount Alodiel for a Liberation Rite. So let us continue the journey quickly, because there's always some pomp and ceremony that Mr. Voice has to go through, and that's just a waste of time. And all the ritualistic. What are these things? Oh, is that a drive imp? Eating the world? Is this Stephen King's The Tommyknockers? Things just eating the world? Oh, we're here, and we have to land way over here, right? Okay, Ether shall gain favor from the scribes if we land here. Ray shall gain favor from the scribes if we land here. Well, I really feel like I found kind of an A team for the Rites, finally. And I really want to keep using Rookie because he is so close to level 5. And there's an achievement for getting an exile to level 5. Then again, I already got the achievement. Well, no, wait, I like Jodariel's plus 35 to the Pyre. So, pretty sure she's getting in. And Rookie's getting in because he's close to level 5. And Mr. Sandalwood, he does the thing with the thing, the cheaty thing. Finally, we get to cheat! So, I guess... Although, I always go over here, don't I? Maybe... over here? I don't know. You make landing upon Mount Alodiel, where a Volfred pulls you aside, while the others complete the post-flight inspection. He puffs his pipe before speaking up. Reader, as you know, I wear the raiments once again. This means that I myself may soon be worthy to regain my freedom in the eyes of the 8 scribes. I know, however, that is not my wish to go just yet. It is true I could be of some benefit to our plan back in the Commonwealth, but I feel my place is here for the time being. Perhaps once the Nightwings are on surer footing in their path, my time shall come. Those are my feelings on the matter, and I want you to know I shall of course defer to you. Our path is not to contradict the reader's will. Anyway, I trust that all of us, yourself included, shall find our freedom, if not soon, then by when all of this is over. Seek the heart's first favor. The Beyonder Crystal seeks Volfred. But those are difficult. I want to do this off camera. And you know what? The little talismans, they're not entirely valuable, all of them. Okay, let's talk to the lady. Jodi seems more reserved even than usual since her confrontation with Ignatius and the Tempers. Nonetheless, she addresses you. Tell me something, reader. Back where you came from, did you have someone you considered close? Not my character's personal life. No. Is it right over here? Is it I'm sure there's something. However brief, the memory of that relationship is something you will always bear. That doesn't necessarily sound good or bad. I mean, as an extreme introvert, actually, even as an extreme introvert, that's not true. I mean, everybody has someone, right? Usually. I mean, if you think really, really hard, everybody has someone. You mentioned briefly to Jodi about a past relationship that meant something to you. She shows a reaction to the details, but you could tell that she's listening. I see. I had someone as well. It is something which I did not end well, but there were times. She trails off. We had our times. She looks up at you then. That Ignarius, he's a base fool. We have not a thing in common, save a set of horns. Yet here I am drawing comparisons with how I felt at times back in the Commonwealth while speaking to you of him. I'm a little old to be having such thoughts, reader, especially in a place such as this. Thank you for time. Do not reveal this to the others. It is a trifling matter and not to be of anyone's concern, especially not mine. Jamil makes known that she has nothing more to say about this. Tell her he seems alright. He does not seem alright. Seems like trouble. Yeah, he seems like trouble. That's what I care for her. I'm an INTJ. I don't say words like that. So goodbye. Yeah, dude's trouble. Stay away from him. You suggested to her that Ignarius may not be worth her while, or her idle thoughts. He seems a thoughtless brute. Jodi says nothing at first, but then... I appreciate your concern, reader, though, as you ought to know by now, I am more than capable of making such determinations on my own. She departs with a nod. Well, she did get a -1 to hope this time, so that's good. Okay, seek the favor. Having completed the post-flight inspection, you and Ray visit the monument to Riesta Tithis. Here in Emperor's Ascent. What was that? Oh, okay, the harp scribe, not the harp scribe. See, when it said harp scribe, I was thinking harp, like the musical instrument. I forget that these are called harps. Okay. Is this all part of your plan, scribes? I know I need not ask, just as I know the path you have laid out takes many turns. Please help us navigate that path, my friends, and we wish to find our way together with your blessings. Soon she has finished paying her respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Riesta Tithis has shown you favor. You shall soon ascend the mountain, though here is time now to pursue your vocations. Accept a blessing. Okay, we're gonna go with XP again. Because this guy needs more XP. Mentor. I should be interested to see which lessons you have taken from the book. You illustrate to Volfred some of the intricacies of the rites, focusing on how all three in a triumvirate can move and act as of one mind. You sense he grasps some of the concepts. Bing! And I don't think he quite hit level 4, but I can't tell because of his head. Just so, I must say, my girl, your understanding of the rites is more than I expected. I can't tell where the XP is. It's somewhere here. Okay, we continue the journey. And this time it is the high road or the cistern. Volfred shall gain favor from the scribes, or Sir Gilman shall gain favor from the scribes. Well, Volfred is definitely getting in. So we're doing that. And we jump off the thing. And then we wind up way over there. How does that even work? I mean, we jumped off a thing there, and then we came out over here. En route to the mountaintop, you pass by a monument to Under King Ores. Volfred happens to take notice. Orlech, was this somehow your doing? You have cursed the scribes and the stars themselves. And I pray for you this time. If the scribes will for the rites to be ended, then we shall have to work with that. No setback shall be unsurmountable. Soon he has finished paying his respects. As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that Under King Ores has shown him favor. +3 glory for the next rite. Journey onward. And there's the Scribe's Gate. You and your fellow exiles gather at the foot of Scribe's Gate. Before an archway carved the Gate Guardian. Greetings to you, Celeste. I see the exiles of the Nightwings. I see the exiles of the Nightwings have returned, even as the cycle of the Rites begins, drawing to a close. Nightwings accept this as the will of the scribes. The Gate Guardian laughs at this softly for some reason. And you, Tariq, do you accept their will as well? But the old minstrel does not answer her. It is no matter. Now, Nightwings, each of you, come forth and state what it is you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. One by one, the Nightwings declare themselves. You all pass through as before. Then Volfred takes his turn. Celeste stops him. Yo, I see you wear the raiments once again. Explain. The cycle of the Rites is ending. While I do not know exactly why, I have my fears. One of my contemporaries, he who fell from the summit long ago, he lives and seeks his liberty again. He stands against us now and believes his triumvirate to be the true Nightwings. I don't remember well the contemporary whom you mean. Then the Nightwings stand divided. Yes, and so I wear the raiments once again, in case it may help to right this wrong. For I am Volfred Saddlewood, and I seek liberty for each of us, so that one day we all might stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side and bring our freedom to the people there. She considers Volfred's words for a moment. I see. Then move along. The Guardian of the Scribe's Gate regards you all, and then she beckons you onward. The scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Celeste. What is it, Tariq? Those are the scribes. Long have we both followed it. I think we'll agree, an equal measure has it drawn us close, has separated us. But if their aim is now to keep us apart, for another age or longer, then... No, I do not accept their will. You blaspheme, Tariq, and at the gate, no less. But the lone minstrel simply puts his hat back on. Then may the scribes themselves admonish me. Until tomorrow night, Celeste. I think he has a crush on her. Here we go again. Having reached the peak of Mount Alodiel again, you cannot help but reflect on one of your own companions may go free to or remain stranded in the downside as a rookie did after last time. Well, we go in here and talk. Volfred. Volfred looks up at you as you approach and smiles. I never thought that I would say such things, my girl, but it is good to wear the raiments and the rites once more. The March of Time does have a way of healing certain hurts. Besides, the Nightwings of today, we are a very different beast than the Triumvirate, which took me in almost a decade ago. Ours was a Triumvirate of exactly 3. Well, 4 with Tizo, who proved to be an exception. Though historically the Nightwings never took on more exiles than needed. I have mentioned my predecessor Brighton, and my former companions Arisa and Norelek. Perhaps naively, I had hoped my time with them would not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. But seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there's more you would wish to learn of them. Questions. Okay. You've not spoke about this one very much. You inquire about Brighton, who you understand was liberated prior to when Volfred first joined the Nightwings. I never met Brighton in person, but I know him rather well by now. Though, for that matter, my girl, so do you. What? What? How do I... What? How? When? How? He studies your reaction for a moment, and then... yeah, my reaction is what? What? How? When? What? What? How? What? Brighton was born wealthy, but not special otherwise. You would have no reason to have heard of him. Then how would I know? He was exiled for negligent misconduct. I do not know exactly why, and do not care for spreading rumors. I first heard of him through Arisa and Orelek, who found me in a suitable replacement for following his liberation. They spoke little of him. Orelek gave the impression they did not see eye to eye. But he assured me I would soon hear from him myself. Indeed, as I became accustomed to the book, which you know by well now, I soon began to hear the voice. Is that him? Volfred looks at you as if to see if you yet take his meaning. I think I do. You see, my girl, after Brighton's liberation, he assumed a new identity within the Commonwealth, and a new responsibility to the triumvirate which liberated him. The voice you hear from time to time, whensoever the stars align, it's his. I knew it for a few seconds. He's no longer Brighton. He's now none other than the Archjustice Androbloblidis 9 himself. What? Grand Judge and figurehead under whose watch the Commonwealth is governed in this day. Those who violate the law of the Commonwealth faces the Archjustice. Liberated exiles retain certain burdens to their own triumvirs. They have much to thank for them, not just for the freedom, but their exalted status in the Commonwealth. The theocratic rulers of the Commonwealth, they do not wear masks and raiments simply for the sake of ceremony. They are not who they appear to be. What? Their public pasts are nothing but a fabrication. Like Brighton, they once were exiles too. Are you telling me that the entire government of the Commonwealth is a facade made up by exiles who are wielding false identities? What kind of place is that? Why do we want to go back there? Why? Why? We could just live down here in the downside, do the Australia thing, make our own country, and then go to war and overthrow them that way. Because that's how we do things. Apparently. Brighton, that voice. He has no love for either one of us by now. He knows full well that we attempt to do, yet he is bound by the traditions of the rites. Well, see, that's the problem with the tradition. We should get rid of it. He should always stand on ceremony and complain. But if you don't like it, don't do it. Ugh. SJs. But I think he knows deep down that he is powerless. Well, only if you give up that power to tradition. Ironic that one of such high status in the Commonwealth should be so frightened of some long-forgotten exiles such as we. Anyway, that's Brighton for you. He must have seen in you the potential to be one of his staunch supporters for a time. If that's a path you'd wanted to pursue, I should apologize. Why would I want to support traditions that are completely messed up? Now then, whom else should we talk about? Arisa. You ask about Arisa, who you understand betrayed Orlach at the moment of his liberation, but then perished in the Shivering Pool. I'm afraid you know the brunt of it, my girl, but I suppose you ought to know something of Arisa's past, lest you be quick to judge her solely for her actions. Mind you, I would never make excuses for the terrible choice she ultimately made, but her life, I understand, was very difficult. Arisa had been exiled for the foulest of acts. You can see it plainly branded on her face. Such was the heinousness of what she did in the eyes of the Commonwealth. It was the foulest of acts. I mean, we're talking about a land that forbids reading. She was an apprentice blacksmith in her youth. What, blacksmithing's illegal too? What? Taking up the post left by her brother. Oh, I think I get it now. You're a family of blacksmiths, so you're supposed to be a blacksmith. I don't want to be at least blacksmith. Oh, well, that's a crime. He had fallen in battle on the blood border despite wielding their father's own lance and armor. Her father never quite recovered out of this. He had grown cruel and detached. It was Arisa who took the brunt of his fury. He expected the impossible of her. One day, it was all too much for her. So when next he lashed out at her, she struck back. She struck back again and then again. Oh, okay, so she Lizzie Bordened him. When they came for her, her father was gone, and she was not herself. She was promptly cast to the downside for the crime, where her hatred of the Commonwealth only grew. Elisa always was intense in her demeanor, haunted by her father's memory. Words, they be hard. More than that, her chief motive for wanting back her freedom was, in hindsight, not a healthy one. She longed to join our nation's enemies, to build for the High Wing remnants a great siege engine that could shatter the defense of the Commonwealth and forever end our feud. What she ultimately did to Oralech was an act of pure and thoughtless desperation. I do not think that it was simply evil, nor do I think that it was personal. I often wondered, though, if, in our final moments in the Shimmering Pool, she understood what she had done, the depths to which she had fallen. For years, I must admit, I hated her, but now my only hope is that she found peace, untenable during her relatively short life in the downside and the Commonwealth. Furthermore, I hope the life of Risa offers some perspective, yet to those of us who have not made the same mistakes. Now then, is there something else? Yeah, Mr. Meany. You asked about what Oralech was like when he and Volfred first became acquainted. Volfred remained silent for some time. I was very sick. You know, when I first landed in the downside, the long trip down the river must have been a little much for me. It was Oralech who found me. He could not have known of my capacity to read before he revived me. He was a physician, intolerant of the sight of suffering of any kind. Not just any physician, mind you, a gifted, highly decorated one. He served on the front. Back then, skirmishes erupted frequently, and those such as Oralech, they had to deal with many casualties on either side. In time, he said he grew repulsed by what he saw. This sowed in his heart a yearning for an end to all the bloodshed, so he tried to use his status to negotiate a treaty with the High Wing remnants. It must have gone about how you'd expect. He was given direct orders to return to the front, but when he refused to soil his hands again, they cast him to the downside. Here he gained notice of the High Wings, and before long he grew to be one of the finest rites conductor anyone had ever seen. He was instrumental in the liberation of his companions, whose roles in the triumvirate were later filled by Erisa and me. In time, Oralech's own opportunity for freedom came up. He longed for it so that, with his exalted status, he might stand a better chance of negotiating peace. However, on the evening of his liberation, well, you know the story from that point, Volfred breathes a heavy sigh. He and I were kindred spirits for a while. I cannot bear to think that he was gone, and now I still cannot entirely believe that he is back. He is our adversary now. Transformed, grown cold. Still, part of me is happy that he lives. Make no mistake, of course, I shall not be swayed against our plan, not by Oralech or anyone, as I have said before. We share a higher calling now. As for Oralech, he wants his freedom still, although I wonder if he still remembers why. Anyway, was there anything else, my owner? Bid him farewell. You bid Volfred a good afternoon and leave him with his memories. My pleasure, Rita. Reflecting on the past from time to time helps demonstrate how far we've come, yet how much farther we have yet to go. And see nothing else new in here. I mean, yeah, we have things here, but off camera. Oh, slug market. Hey, guys, so, like, I don't know what's going on up there with all them stars acting real weird and stuff, but let me tell you something here. You ain't gonna find a better deal than all this stuff from anybody. I mean, anybody in the downside. You can trust me when I tell you that. Okay, so go ahead and stock up. 19 gold. Can I buy anything for 19 gold? No. 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 Well, I could buy that. Manage an adversary, the barricade is one thingy this many times per right. 10. Oh, up to this many times per right. That is a way of making money, but I feel like I'm like really far into the game right now, and yeah, I'm gonna give a pass on that, because I'm just like so far in the game now. I mean, that would have been helpful early on had I paid attention. Yeah, okay. They didn't buy nothing, Dad. Okay, so, yeah, I should mention that I have a little slogan here on this channel. School doesn't teach. It is our responsibility to take our education into our own hands. Because, unfortunately, school does not prepare people for life the way it should be. So every now and then we need like a little educational supplement. So I like to drop little nuggets of wisdom into these videos here and there. And the nugget of wisdom for this video is time is a non-renewable resource. You know, just as the stars are fading, and we have a limited number of these Liberation Rites ahead of us, you have a limited amount of time to do anything. So what are you spending your time on? And well, with that, leave some feedback down in the comments section, as the feedbacks are necessary for the improvings. And oh, there are so many things I need to improve on. Probably things I don't even know about. Maybe you guys know about it. Tell me about it. And as always, remember that gaming is intellectual exercise. Just as athletes need to stay in shape, so do intellectuals. And gaming is one of the ways in which we can do that, as it helps us to hone our problem-solving skills. If that sounds like something that interests you, you would like to see more of, or you would like to support, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon as well, so you can be notified whenever I drop a new video like this. And in the next one, we're going to be commencing the Liberation Rite. Maybe we win, maybe we don't. We haven't won one in quite some time, so probably won't, but you never know. But we're going to try, and that's going to happen the next time, and I will see you then.